So at first glance, what do you think you have to do for this problem? Like, how are we going to start taking a derivative?
You move the the screen.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Move the 1 plus 2x to the top and put the exponent of 1/2.
Okay, so here you have x over the square root of 1 plus 2x, right? How about, is there anything else you think you might want to start with?
You can split it up.
You can split it up. You can do the quotient rule. There are lots of options, okay? So remember, however, whenever you can avoid the quotient rule, you should avoid the quotient rule. So if you can avoid the quotient rule and do product rule instead, product rule is more like desirable to do, right? So this one, we are going to move this up and make this into a product rule. So we're gonna rewrite this as, one sec, x times 1 plus 2x to the power of negative 1/2. Okay? Now I can use the product rule. Okay? So let's see. U will be x. V is 1 plus 2x to the power of negative 1/2. Okay. U prime is 1. Okay? V prime. Now here, let me make this a little bigger. The negative 1/2 is going to come down. So we're going to have 1 plus 2x to the power of what? Negative 3 over 2 times 2 because of the inside. Okay? So really, and then these will cancel. So V prime is negative 1 plus 2x to the negative 3 over 2. Okay. Now, let's start doing our product rule. So, we're not done yet. Okay, so y prime is x times, so it's u times v prime, right? So it's going to be x times negative of this. And so when I'm rewriting it, like I bring the negative in the front. So it's going to be negative x, 1 plus 2x to the power of negative 3 over 2, plus 1 plus 2x to the power of negative 1/2. Okay, at this point, are there any questions? I did uv prime and vu prime or whatever. Any questions now? Okay, now this is not simplified yet. First of all, there's a whole bunch of negative exponents which are not good. But more than that, you've got common terms here. You say you've got 1 plus 2x to the power of something and then 1 plus 2x to the power of something else. Those are common terms which you need to now factor out. And we did a little bit of that in the notes, but let's do some more. So here, this one and this one need to be factored out. Okay, so if we, don't write this, but if you have something like this, if you have, let's say, x to the power of 7 minus x to the power of 4, what do you factor out of this? Okay, why x to the power of 4 and not 7? Huh? Right, you basically choose the smaller exponent, right? Between 7 and 4, 4 is the smaller number. Okay, and now when you factor this out, what do you have inside? X to the power of 3 minus 1. Okay, so remember what I said before. How do you get x to the power of 3 minus 1? Because mentally, you divide everything by whatever it is that you factored out. So when you do that, x to the power of 7 over x to the power of 4, you subtract the exponents, 7 minus 4, 4 minus 4. Okay? All right, that's what we're going to do here. We decided, well, I kind of decided for you, that we're going to factor out a 1 plus 2x. But it has to be to the power of the smaller exponent. So between the negative 3 over 2 and the negative half, what's a smaller number? What's into more? Negative 3 over 2. So I'm going to factor out a negative 3 over 2. So this is going to be y prime is equal to 1 plus 2x to the power of negative 3 over 2. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to write that a little bit lower. So we're factoring out 1 plus 2x to the power of negative 3 over 2. And this is y prime equals, okay, so it's going to be this times, like, whatever is in the next term. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. In the beginning, if you want, just write that out. It is going to be negative x. Good. 1 plus 2x to the power of negative 3 over 2. 1 plus 2x to the power of negative 3 over 2. Okay, so do you see why this and this will go away? Because you're dividing by the same thing, so you just have negative x left? Okay. Plus, here you have different exponents. So you're going to have the base to the power of, and write this out in the beginning. The first exponent minus the next exponent. You're going to have a double negative most of the time. Okay? Yep.
Why wouldn't it, like, instead of the 1 plus 2x, why wouldn't it just be 1? Like the base of 1.
Because when first you look at this blue, what you had in common.
Yeah, I get the first one. Because it's canceling out, so, because you have the negative x in front of that equation, and then there's technically a 1 in front of that one. So why isn't it just 1?
So what cancels out here is the entire 1 plus 2x to the exponent with the 1 plus 2x to the. Whatever's in parentheses is 1 unit. You can't cancel out distinct parts of that.
So those 1 plus 2x's don't cancel out because they have different exponents?
Exactly. It's just like if you have x to the power of 7 over x to the power of 4, the x stays. And then you just have x to the power, you just subtract. Okay, so here, look at what you have. Y prime is 1 plus 2x to the power of negative 3 over 2. Negative x plus 1 plus 2x to the power of, okay, what is that? Negative half plus 3 over 2 is 1 half. No, it's 1.
Yeah, we have 1.
Because it's 1.5 minus 1 is 1. Okay? Okay, and now look, we're almost done, right? So y prime is, let's just simplify this inside, right? What do you have? Negative x plus 1 plus 2x. How much is that? X plus 1. Okay. So now take a look at what I have. I have this first term to the power of negative 3 over 2 times x plus 1. So I can move this down, right? Now we're going to have a fraction. You move that down, you have 1 plus 2x to the power of 3 over 2. And in the numerator, you just have x plus 1. Okay? And that's it. That's your answer. You see how nice and neat and clean it is? Okay? Now, had you done quotient rule, you would have gotten the same answer because, like, math just works like that. Okay? But it would have been a lot longer a process. Yeah.
Why did the 2x cancel?
It did it. So we just added negative x plus 1 plus 2x. Negative x plus 2x is 1x plus 1. Right. Right? And then, like, before I moved everything down, what is it that I had here? I had 1 plus 2x to the negative 3 over 2 times x plus 1, right? So whatever had a negative exponent moved down, whatever didn't stayed. Okay, Adam.
So why isn't it like 3 over